Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds telephonic conversation with Qatar Amir and Egyptian President, conveys Eid greetings and thanks both the leaders for their efforts for welfare of the Indian citizens in their countries. Prime Minister also speaks to President of Austria. The two leaders agree on potential to expand cooperation in many areas as the countries prepare for post-COVID world. Indians stranded abroad continue to be brought back through Vande Bharat mission. Government expands phase 2 of the mission, targeting 1 lakh people from 60 countries. MHS asks the states to direct hotels to refund 7 days advance payments received from quarantined people as the government cuts institutional quarantine period from 14 days to 7 days. Process of sending migrant workers back home through Shramik special trains continues under Mission Back Home. 44 lakh passengers transported to their native places aboard 3,274 Shramik trains. Further in the country to 41.61%, over 60,490 patients discharged, 80,722 active cases in the country, while 4,167 fatalities. Android version of coronavirus tracking app Arogya Setu becomes the first government product in the world to be made open source, bumping up its transparency credentials. Government informs 11.5 crore people have downloaded the app so far and 8 lakh people have done their self-assessment. $55.89 lakh people infected with COVID-19 worldwide so far. Global death toll crosses 3.5 lakh. Various countries begin to relax restrictions on activities. Several European nations deliberate on opening up the borders. Several parts of North and West India reel under scorching heat wave. Mercury touches 50 degrees Celsius in Rajasthan's Churu. Delhi too sizzles at maximum of 47.6 degrees. Met Department predicts respite by Thursday owing to fresh western disturbance. Good morning. You're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. In the next half an hour, we'll get an account of everything that's been making it to the headlines. We begin with the top story. In a telephonic conversation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed greetings for Eid ul-Fitr to Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt, as well as to the people of Egypt. Reciprocating the greetings, the Egyptian president referred to Egypt and India as being among the oldest civilizations in the world and expressed happiness about the fast expanding bilateral relationship. Prime Minister expressed his appreciation for the support extended by Egyptian authorities for safety and welfare of Indian nationals in Egypt during the COVID-19 crisis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also spoke on phone with Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. He is the Amir of State of Qatar, to convey Eid ul-Fitr greetings to the friendly people of Qatar. Prime Minister warmly appreciated the personal care taken by the Amir for ensuring the welfare of the Indian citizens in Qatar during the COVID-19 pandemic. In turn, the Amir appreciated contributions of the Indian community in Qatar, especially the role being played by Indian health workers. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also had a telephonic conversation with Federal President of the Republic of Austria, Dr. Alexander Van der Bellen. The Austrian president condoled the damage caused in India due to Cyclone Amphan. The leaders exchanged views on measures taken in their countries to manage the adverse health and economic impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. They agreed on the importance of international collaboration to deal with the present challenges. Both the leaders reiterated their shared desire to further strengthen and diversify India-Austria relations in the post-COVID world. The Vande Bharat mission now is set for its third phase, where the government is planning to widen its reach and efficiency in the coming weeks. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar conducted a review meeting of the mission. The focus of the meeting was to ramp up the scale of the mission and enhance its efficiency. Dr. Jaishankar, through a series of tweets, highlighted the key takeaways from the meeting. He tweeted, and I quote him, "There are plenty of lessons learned from Vande Bharat mission performance so far of the 173 flights and 3 ships covering 34 countries. He further said that there will be further expansion of phase 2 of Vande Bharat mission, that is 17th May to 13th June, which is currently underway, and it will target 1 lakh passengers from nearly 60 countries. The preparations for third phase, widening our footprint, has already commenced. The centre is planning an increase in entry points and expanded feeder flights. There will be a welcome approval of chartered flight from May 26th. Moreover, Indians returning through land borders has started from May 26th. Arrangements are being made for amnesty beneficiaries in the Gulf. He also informed that naval evacuation of our fishermen stranded in Iran will happen in June. He also announced that Air India will shortly shift to direct ticketing to facilitate bookings abroad. The minister said that the centre is working with state governments for more efficient use of cumulative quarantine capacity. Under Vande Bharat mission, the first direct flight from India to Ireland landed in Dublin yesterday, carrying Indian and Irish citizens from Delhi. The same flight will take back stranded Indian nationals in Ireland to India. The first flight from Russia also took off from Moscow on Tuesday. Indian ambassador to Russia, Venkat Verma, said that there will be more flights in the coming weeks. Flights from Paris also took off yesterday, carrying Indians back home. Around 140 flights from Gulf countries are scheduled till 8th of June under the mission. Yesterday, Delhi welcomed around 175 passengers from Abu Dhabi. There were 4 flights scheduled from Dubai to Kochi, Kozhikode, Kannur and Thiruvananthapuram. And also 4 flights were scheduled from Abu Dhabi. Only asymptomatic passengers are being allowed to board the flight, while priority was given to passengers with medical emergencies, pregnant women, senior citizens, etc. Indian Consulate General Vipil said that around 10,000 Indians from Dubai are likely to go back in the extended second phase of the mission.
We are beginning the phase 2 plus of Vande Bharat mission from Dubai. We have flights almost every day to each of the airports in Kerala. But in addition, we have flights to Delhi, we have to Jaipur, we have 4 flights to Hyderabad, we have flights to Goa, 4 airports in Tamil Nadu. So a number of states will be covered in this phase 2 plus in the next 7-8 days from here in Dubai. And altogether, I think we will be able to send back about 10,000 people during phase 2 plus.
And Gaya Airport in Bihar is the landing point for the special Vande Bharat flights. So far, special flights at Gaya Airport have arrived from United Kingdom, Muscat and Doha. The 4th Air India flight carrying 127 stranded passengers from Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan reached Gaya International Airport yesterday. Passengers are being sent for 14-day quarantine after proper medical screening. The state government has arranged a hotel for the passengers. 6 flights have so far been scheduled to land at Gaya Airport. These flights will come on till 3rd of June.
प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट बहुत सपोर्टिव है और इंडियन एम्बेसी का बहुत साथ था, लेकिन फाइनली हम लोग को एक था कि अपना घर जाएंगे, अपनी मम्मी पापा के पास जाएंगे, इसलिए हम लोग सुकून से यहाँ आना चाहते हैं। परेशानी कुछ नहीं हुई है, एक्चुअली इंडियन गवर्नमेंट अच्छा प्रोवाइड की है, इंडिया में एवरीथिंग हम लोग को मिला, फूड और किसी चीज़ की प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई।
थैंक यू टू माय गवर्नमेंट एंड इंडियन एम्बेसी और मुझे यहाँ लाने के लिए। और हम लोग बाहर में रहते हैं, बाहर देश में रहते हैं, हमारी पहचान इंडिया ही है और सर दिल से सल्यूट करते हैं।
The Union Home Ministry has written to all states that citizens who have been quarantined in hotels after their return from abroad and who were made to pay an advance for 14 days must be refunded half of the amount as per the revised guidelines. The Home Ministry has intervened following complaints that some hotels used as temporary quarantine centers for people travelling from outside the country were refusing to return 7 days advance money after the government had cut down institutional quarantine period from 14 days to 7. Now, as per the latest guidelines, protocol for institutional quarantine has been revised to 7 days, followed by 7 days home quarantine after medical assessment. Since they can now leave for home quarantine after 7 days, the amount paid by them for the remaining 7 days needs to be refunded to them, which some hotels are refusing to return. The Home Ministry has asked states to ensure that hotels refund the 7 days quarantine stay charges paid by the people returning from abroad who did not end up staying for those days. Our correspondent Arun is joining us to get us more on that. Arun, we've given a broad outline of the progress of Vande Bharat mission to our viewers, and also how people returning back to their homeland are thankful and they're expressing their gratitude to the government. Also, we tell our viewers that Vande Bharat mission is all set for the third phase, where more focus will be on efficiency and its reach. Let us know more as to what is being planned. There was indication that the ministry might allow private airlines also to be part of the mission. Let us know more on that as well.
That's right, Preeti. And now we know this fact that by the end of this month, India plans to evacuate close to 50,000 Indians from abroad. And by the end of mid-June, what government is planning to evacuate 1 lakh Indians. We know this fact that close to 2 lakh Indians have registered to come back to India under the Vande Bharat mission. And now government is trying to, diversify, or primarily you can say expand its country base as far as evacuation is concerned. Till now, the key focus was on the Gulf countries, whereby the Indians were stranded, but now government is also planning to evacuate its citizens from European countries, from US, and of course the Gulf country remains the epicenter whereby the key focus will be. But yes, we should not forget this fact that this Vande Bharat mission has given a lot of experience to the government. We could start the domestic flight operations in our country. It is just because of the kind of experience that we got from Vande Bharat mission. So now what happens in Vande Bharat 3? The key takeaways which were discussed with the External Affairs Minister, and the meeting took place yesterday. So the key takeaways are that chartered flights will be allowed going forward. Now, the main point over here is that the feeder flights will also be allowed. Now, what was happening that under the Vande Bharat mission, 2 big airports, 2 big main points were connected. For example, Delhi to Chicago was connected, Delhi to Abu Dhabi was connected. But what happens to the passenger or Indians who are living in tier 1 towns, tier 2 towns? So now the feeder flights will also be started going forward. Charter planes are being allowed so that if in case any businessman is stranded, or anybody wants to take a chartered plane, can also take a charter plane and come back to India. Third important part, there are a lot of fishermen who are stranded in Iran. So now government is also planning to conduct an evacuation as far as Iran is concerned. We know this fact that we got a lot of experience from the Samudra Setu naval exercises, the naval evacuation is concerned. So we got a lot of experience from the Samudra Setu mission as well. So now the naval evacuation will also take place gradually. So yes, this is a big initiative of the government, because we know this fact that Indian citizens living abroad is the highest in the number as compared to any other countries in the world. So now under the Vande Bharat 3, a lot of expansion is being done as far as the countries are concerned. And last but not the least, Preeti, the quarantine facility, that is something very much important. Till now, the quarantine for the people who are coming from abroad was 14-day institutional quarantine. That means they were supposed to live in a hotel or any a paid quarantine facility. But now this time has been reduced to 7 days of institutional quarantine facility and 7 days of home isolation. And yesterday only Home Ministry said that all the hotels, all the private institutions, those have taken advance money of 14 days, they need to refund the rest 7 days of money to the
Arun.
So yes, gradually government is gaining experience from the Vande Bharat mission phase 1, phase 2, and yes, more efficiency is being provided when we talk about the Vande Bharat mission 3 is concerned. By more countries are also added, more flights are added, and it is also very much likely that Air India might start taking direct ticketing as far as evacuation is concerned under the Vande Bharat mission.
All right, Arun, put all this together. The main concern for the government at present is to reach out to the maximum number of Indians who are stranded abroad. Having said that, the concern and the response, this means also added responsibility on the part of the government to ensure the well-being of these stranded Indians when they come back on the Indian soils, to ensure that they are also safe and people around them are also safe. We're talking about the quarantine facilities. Let us know more about the status of these particular quarantine facilities. And also, when we talk of the efforts made by the government in ensuring their well-being, the government has also, as you tell us, and also we've told our viewers how the government has asked the hotels to refund the money which has been, which is due to be given back to these repatriated people on account of the lower number of quarantined days. Put all this together, let us talk more about how important is the challenge at the hand of the government once these stranded persons come back to their country.
Of course, indeed, Vande Bharat mission is really a challenging task for the government, because evacuation exercise is the largest ever exercise taken by any of the government in the world to bring back the stranded Indians, specifically as far as the COVID is concerned. So now what government is ensuring that only asymptomatic passengers are allowed to board when they're coming back to India. If in case any symptoms are there, they are being stopped over there. Till now, I mean, look at this way, Preeti, till now, the missions, the Indian missions which are there abroad, they are preparing the list of these Indians who wants to return back. But now, when we talk about Vande Bharat 3, it is very much likely, it's being told by External Affairs Minister that direct ticketing can also be given to Air India, so that Air India can start accepting tickets. So this can pave way forward as far as international flight operations are concerned. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri clearly said that we might in a position to open the international operations, selective routes specifically as far as international routes are concerned before August. That means government is now planning for international operations as well. So Vande Bharat mission on one side and starting of international operations on the other side. So this too can also, give a major push to bring back Indians back home. So when you give Air India a kind of direct access of accepting the tickets, this will also pave, this will also primarily, pump up the operations. Second important part, international airlines like Indigo has been given permission to evacuate under the Vande Bharat mission. So Vande Bharat mission will be also be evacuated by Indigo as of now. So Indigo, Air India, these all private airlines is also coming forward. So yes, the big challenge is of course the quarantining and making a safe evacuation of the passenger. So thermal screening is being done when the point they are boarding the plane. When they get down in India, they're also being thermal screened. And yes, a 7-day of strict and mandatory institutional quarantine, followed by a 7-day of mandatory home isolation or home quarantine. So this is the way government is ensuring that safe evacuation can be done. And on the other side, more and more Indians can be brought back to India so that their distress can be removed in this time of COVID. Preeti?
All right, Arun, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. That was our correspondent telling us more about what the government is planning ahead when we talk of expansion of Vande Bharat mission, the third phase of Vande Bharat mission. From here, let's turn our focus to Indian Railways now. Let's get you more on Shramik special trains. Indian Railways has now transported over 44 lakh migrant workers on board 3,274 Shramik special trains till 26th of May. The effort has been a mammoth one, involving states and also the state governments and the railways. Now, the maximum number of trains have been destined for Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, 3,274 Shramik special trains till 26th of May. More than 44 lakh passengers have been ferried back to their home states through these special Shramik trains in 25 days. More than 74 lakh free meals and more than 1 crore water bottles have been distributed by the railways. In addition to Shramik specials, railways are running 15 pairs of special trains connecting New Delhi from 12th of May. The railways also plans to start 200 more timetabled trains from 1st of June. And the railways has ensured that all precautionary guidelines are followed in view of the COVID-19 situation.
The Indian Railways has been working day and night since 1st May to ensure safe and comfortable passage for the migrants. We started on 1st May with 5,000 people being moved in 4 trains. Now we are moving about close to 5 lakh people every day.
And let's get you an update on the COVID-19 situation in the country. Maharashtra is the worst affected state due to COVID-19 with more than 52,000 total confirmed cases so far. Over 75,000 beds have been kept ready in Mumbai, which has emerged as the hotspot of the disease, and Chase the Virus mission is being implemented for contact tracing in the country's financial capital. The state government officials hinted that the lockdown removal will happen in a very, very gradual and calibrated manner. And to get us more on that, our correspondent Shishir is joining us. Shishir, let us know the latest. We tell our viewers that Maharashtra has become the worst affected state. More than 52,000 cases have been reported. Get us the details.
Well, absolutely, Preeti. Looking at these numbers, especially in Maharashtra, the corona positive patients have crossed the 50,000 mark here. And a daily average, if you look at the entire number here, it crossed nearly 2,000, sometimes it crossed 2,500 also. So that's a quite worrisome factor for the state government here. And that's the reason state government is actually now focusing on how to reduce this number. Of course, the government have actually notified the areas, and they will divided these the state into three different areas. That is the green and orange zone in one category. The other one is the red zone, and the last one is the containment zone here. Now, the focus is on containment zone and as well as red zone, because maximum numbers are coming out of this. The numbers that you're seeing, 50,000, majorly these numbers are coming from the metro cities like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, Nasik. These are the areas that have recorded a maximum number of COVID for the corona positive patient, and that's the reason government have adopted a different strategy for these areas. Now, government have said that the major municipal corporation in the state are considered as a red zone because the maximum numbers are found in this municipal corporation, and that's the reason now the focus has been given to these areas here. Of course, the infrastructure facility is what the state government is focusing at this point in time. If you take an example of Mumbai, at this point in time, Mumbai, looking at the government hospital also, and the state government have also taken the private hospital, and the 80% of the beds in the private hospital has been dedicated only for the COVID patients here. But that is not sufficient, and that's the reason government have taken the extra precautions, and they have taken the other land as well, which is available for the exhibitions also and conference purposes. For example, the BKC, the Bandra Kurla complex in Mumbai, the Varli's NACI Dome complex, and the Goregav's exhibition center. These are the localities that government have taken into their hands and now been shifted as the COVID care centers here. And soon they will have increased the capacity. What the state health minister said just a couple of days back is that the Mumbai is now preparing for COVID centers, and nearly 1 lakh bed will be available very soon. That's what he said through these different facilities that they're creating. Same pictures we're going to see in Pune also, in Nagpur also, in Nasik also, in these areas also, where the numbers are increasing day by day. But this is about the numbers that are increasing. But on the other hand, government is also focusing on restarting the economic activity in the state. And that's the reason those are the areas which comes under the green and the orange zone. The government have already started some of the industries there. The government have given permission to 75,000 industries, out of which 50,000 industries already started working in a green and orange zone here. And that's the reason the intra-district connectivity, the intra-district public mode of
Right,
transport.
Shishir. Having said this, now these are the relaxations which you're talking about. Also, when we see that when the lockdown will end after 31st of May, we've had the state government officials say that there will be a very, very gradual and calibrated manner in which the lockdown will be removed. Let us know details of this. What is it that the state government is looking at?
Well, absolutely. Rightly said here. The government actually hinted that they will not immediately lift the ban here. That's what the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray in his webcast a couple of days back said here, that the ban will be lifted gradually, and what will be the course of action, the government will decide very soon. And example, if you look at the domestic flight has started, but it seems that at very first point the government have said that they will not start the domestic flight because it will increase the numbers, and wherever especially these airports are located, these airports are located mostly in the red zone area, and that's the reason the government was actually earlier was quite hesitant, but later on they have started with extra deployed workforce and the healthcare facilities at the airport, and then they have started the domestic air travel. Since like that also, we have seen here that now the other areas also, the government said that as far as the red zone areas are concerned, the government said that some probably restrictions will be lifted, but what kind of restriction the government will lift, that is not clear yet.
Right.
The essential services are still on here, but will the economic activity in the red zone continues as is going on in the green zone? That is a major question. And how partially the government lifts this ban is also another important question, because we're talking about a city like Mumbai, which is quite difficult. And here, to stop the economic activities for almost 60 days, we'll have the government will have to face the brunt of it as far as the economic aspect is concerned. And that's the reason the government is now thinking that how they can restart the economy into the municipal corporation
All right,
areas that
Shishir,
tier 2 and
very
tier 3
quickly,
segments.
also get us an update on the flight operations, the resumption of the flight operations in the metro cities in the state.
Absolutely. The Mumbai, Nagpur, the flights have already been started here on 25th. We have seen that some of the passengers came from different localities here. And now, the people who have come to the airport, they have been stamped to be at home quarantine also. At least various checkpoints have been created at the Mumbai domestic, the T2 airport. When the passenger comes in, they have to go through the thermal scanning also, which is actually put outside the airport. The security staff are sitting outside the airport, and since then, they have to follow all the security measures. They have to keep the baggage into the tunnel there. All the baggage actually gets cleaned up and sanitized. So these are the SOPs that the government is following. And apart from that, the government said that another set of SOPs has been issued by the state government. It stated that the traveler who coming from the air travel or coming from the different districts or coming from the different states also in India have to go through all those SOPs. They have to be at home quarantine for the 14 days here. They have been stamped here. They don't have to move anywhere. Whatever required support is required, they will get it at their home itself or maybe in hotel they want to stay in. So these are the SOPs which have been issued by the state government, which have to be followed by all the air travelers who are coming into Maharashtra or traveling in Maharashtra as well.
All right, Shishir, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. That was our correspondent Shishir telling us more about the current situation in the state of Maharashtra, which has now become the worst affected state due to COVID-19, as more than 52,000 total confirmed cases have been reported from the state. With that, we'll end this edition of the news here. We'll keep updating you with the rest of the updates in the bulletins that follow. As of now, that's it in this edition of the newscast. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.